Hello everyone, I'm Sneha from 2nd MA English, Kaveri College for Women, Autonomous Trichy. This e-content is about the short story SMS written by Sunethra Rajakarunanayake. This work was originally published in the short story collection Bridging Connections by Sunethra Rajakarunanayake on 25th September 2019. Sunethra Rajakarunanayake was born in 1954 and she is one of the most respected and widely read contemporary writer in the Sinhala language. She has written for the stage, the screen, and the page with 37 books to her credit. Her Proactivate award winning novel Podu Purushaya has been recently translated into English as Mita in the year 2011. She is also a translator, critic, and a media personality as well as a teacher of meditation. Now she lives in Colombo. A group of people were traveling from Kilinochichi to Vadamarachichi and they came across an abandoned military tank and railway carriages along the way. The narrator expressed a desire to see the sleepers of the railway line to Jaffna, which was the capital city of northern provinces of Sri Lanka, but hesitated out of fear of risking her leg and to return to Colombo in an ambulance. They saw a small walled valet and bamboo house and adorned with colorful pieces of tiles, which they suspected were collected from the larger houses which was destroyed by bombs. The house was constructed from a rough coconut branches. So the narrator thought it would have been even more beautiful if it was made of straw. However, due to the absence of paddy cultivation for over a decade, there was no straw available. The cattle in the area roamed freely without regard for boundaries and grazed on green grasses nourished by the remains of deceased individuals. There were no signs of village existence, only a deteriorated rice mill. Charles, who had obtained his law degree from a British university, was on this journey as a representative of an international organization with experience in demining from his earlier involvement in ancient conflicts. However, on this trip, his role was primarily that of a temporary consultant until they reached Vanuania. Signs of city life began to emerge as they continued their journey. They observed a white painted dagoba and a well maintained army camp with neatly landscaped lawns and trimmed bushes, as well as well paved roads and roundabouts. Most of the sharp signs were in Tamil, which the narrator could not read despite knowing some of Tamil words, which make her to feel like an outsider. And the narrator sent a message to her lover, who was a member of parliament, and they reached Umanathai checkpoint an hour later. According to LTTE orders, they were not allowed to exceed 30 kilometers per hour, a rule that was applied both to the higher rank members and civilians traveling from Colombo. Despite the danger signals and the potential risk of encountering snakes, the narrator walked from the main road. Charles mentioned that only the house of white skinned people had electricity from the generators and they cultivated ornamental plants in the deserted gardens, while the average person's house lacked the electricity. As they passed by a place with wooden pegs arranged in a circular shape, which could have been an army camp. During the rainy season, the flooded water displays landmines buried just 10 centimeter below the surface. And the landmines were weighed up to 4 kilograms, but it does not pose any kind of threat to the snakes. And the journey continued, and they spotted huge plumera trees against the backdrop of a rising sun resembling a colossal yellow ball. The narrator stopped the driver, Vimal, to capture a photograph of the scene. They also noticed the beautiful white lotuses, which surprised Vimal as he believed they only bloomed in his village between Mathara and Hambotata. Yet here they were in Vani. Unlike the other areas with dangerous signs or yellow drapes indicating the landmines, this area is appeared safe. However, Vimal's keen eyes detected at the top of an iron spike towering slightly from the ground, marking the beginning of a potential landmine field. These landmines could be arranged in rows, at angles, or scattered across the ground. Charles picked up a brass colored empty cartridge and offered it to the narrator, but she declined by fearing it might be associated with harm. They came across a well maintained coconut plantation that belonged to a family who had fled to France due to the war. After the tsunami, the plantation has been handed over to LTTE, who intended to distribute it to the needy of the sustenance. Continuing through the elephant pass in Sri Lanka, they encountered a roadside shark selling dry fishes and found a contract name board marketing the elephant pass border, which was also scattered by the shellings. Then the narrator marveled at the area's beauty, which exceeded its portrayal on the maps. They shared a story about a small bridge where fish water meet a seawater, but it does not mix. Uh, and later, they reached a sandy area with short shrubs after passing the Vadamarachichi junction. Here, they discovered a barren landscape with thorny shrubs and stunted trees and damaged palmyra trees, which had once been home and paddy fields. Further along their journey, they encountered a group of 48 women, and the women were led by Vani, and one of them, Vasugi, is trained in first aid. They communicate with the women who speak in Tamil with the help of Charles, who speaks Tamil and translate for them. And the group of women had been clearing landmines for 19 months and has successfully defused a significant number of them. They have also encountered dangers, including snake bites, but no one has died. They have killed 167 serpents during their work. The narrator reflects on the challenging conditions in which the women work, such as wearing protective gear in the intense heat and clearing small areas meticulously and diffusing bombs while also dealing with the snakes. The narrator is impressed by her dedication and their labor. The areas suspected of containing landmines are marked with yellow tape, and cleared areas are marked with the post of white tops. Then the narrator revealed her name to the women as Vishaka. During a break, the women's inspector, Edward Master, arrives and the author interacts with the women, trying to communicate in the Tamil. The narrator jokes with the women and enjoys their company. Pushpam, the leader of the group, has a limp, and the narrator speculates that she may have been injured during her time as an LTTE cadre. Most of the women in the group are between 18 to 25 years old, except for Pushpam, who is 35 years old. The narrator and Charles interact with the women, and the narrator writes a message in the visitor book expressing her wishes for peace and prosperity. The women's needs are discussed and including the issues of ill-fitting shoes for Pushpam, which should have been addressed earlier. And the narrator is struck by a woman's resilience and cheerful demeanor despite of the challenges they face. And Charles speculates that the peace agreement has brought them some comfort. Thank you.